Greetings and welcome to another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. Today I want to take a look at the Poison Necromancer with Poison Nova and also going with a budget setup or almost budget setup. I think it is a budget setup, but you can decide for yourself. I was looking at this build and I was very intrigued by it. But every time I read, oh, it only works with Enigma and DevSwap, you always need DevSwap Enigma before it works. And I wanted to find out. So I'm doing this video, I'm taking a look at it. We're going into Chaos, we're doing Travincal, maybe some other areas. And we will find out together if this build can be viable in a budget setup. So let's jump into the skills. The mandatory skills are 20 into Poison Dagger, 20 into Poison Explosion, and 20 into Poison Nova. Then I also put in around 15 points into Corpse Explosion because this will, as always, be one of your main damage dealing spells, and I want to boost up the radius to affect more monsters. For curses, we need to go all the way down to low resist because low resist lowers the poison resistances and boosts up our damage and also is able to break poison immunes for us. But usually around 7 points with plus skills is enough because the resist all minus component only gets boosted up by a little bit if you put more points to it. But this is basically the build. You put in one in the clay golem and one to summon resist, and that's basically it. And I was also toying around with Clay Golem and putting more points into it just to see if I need a little bit more tankiness, a tank for my Mercenary and for me. So you can put it into Clay Golem, but you can also like boost up your Corpse Explosion more or your low resistances. I also saw a build that did raise Skeleton, but I don't think we need it right now. So let's get into the stats and the items. I have a white in a bone wand. The bone wand has +3 to Poison Nova. So if you're lucky enough to find one with 2 open sockets, this will be very great. Because in summary, it's +6 to Poison Nova because of the +3 to Poison and Bone skills. Also has a little bit of faster cast rate, which helps. And if you don't find it, I also have like one with +3 to Corpse Explosions. This one I think you can shop in normal at Drognen. And this will boost up your Corpse Explosion radius, which is also pretty nice. I also have a Lore Helmet, a rare emblem with plus skills and resistances. I have 3-piece Travincal, so that's why I questioned if this is budget enough for you. I toyed around with a more budget setup with like a Rhyme Shield or Homunculus and another rare Sash, and it also works pretty okay, but with this setup with 3-piece Travincals, you have -25% to enemy poison resistance, which roughly translates to 25% more damage with poison, which is pretty great. So I still think this is budget, especially in non-leather, because these pieces are not expensive. You also can go with the armor piece of Travincals instead of the belt. But for the armor, I put in bone, because bone gives +2 to necromancer skill levels and a good amount of resistances, which is very nice. As for the boots, I have Inferno Strides. I have a 10% faster cast rate ring to get me to the 50% breakpoint, or, well, it's 48%, but we have 50% faster cast rate in summary, as you can see here. And the other ring is just resistances. And as I already mentioned, we have Travincals, 3 pieces, so also the heavy bracers here. On the offhand, a teleport staff if we need it. Other than that, no charms, so this could even be a bit stronger with some poison and bone skillers. And for the stats, I have enough strength to equip my gear, which is 77 strength for the Dusk Shroud. Nothing into dexterity. You could go with a max block approach, but it translates to roughly 200 dexterity, which is a lot. You trade in around 400 life for the max block if you have something like a perfect diamond in your offhand. You can also go with an Eldrune, which gives 7% block, which means you need less dexterity. And for here, I have all points into vitality and nothing in dexterity. And lastly, for the Mercenary, I have an Insight in a Thresher, a Treachery in a Wire Fleece, and Talrasha's Mask, and it's a Holy Freeze Mercenary to help with survivability. So, with all that out of the way, let's jump into some gameplay. Let's see how this build performs in Travincal first. So here we are at Travincal, summoned my Golem, got my Bone Shield up. Let's check the teleport on the second weapon slot. So it gets a bit faster. Cast Slow Resist and cast your Poison over. And then we can cast Corpse Explosion, which does massive amounts of damage. As always, your Mercenary will probably die. But you can resummon your Golem, which is pretty tanky because you put in so many points into it. And just like that, we killed the Council. Could have been a bit faster. I think I wasn't recasting Poison Nova fast enough there. So let's get our Mercenary back and let's try out the cow level. So here we are. Let's get into the cow level and see how well we perform. Where are the cows? Here they are. And I'm by no means an expert on this character, so the gameplay might not be executed perfectly. Please keep that in mind. But for a noob like me, I think this is it's pretty good. I really like it. I mean, it does not feel lower than the classic Summoner Necromancer. Of course, something like physical resistances do tend to take a bit longer because we're not playing with amplified damage. And the Corpse Explosion does less damage if they are physically immune or have even high physical resistances. But poison damage is not bad at all. It's yeah, 5.7k to almost 6k damage. And again, if you have some poison bone skillers, you can boost it up even higher. And with Corpse Explosion, as always, can get rid of large groups of monsters pretty easily. Just get the first kill. And as you might see, the first kill is not so reliant on the Mercenary like it is with the Summoner Necromancer, and that's what I really like here. But, well, yeah, this can happen. The Mercenary dies, but you're still able to continue. I mean, this was the Cow King, probably with some nasty enchants. And as others mentioned in my other budget Necromancer video, you can also go the Iron Golem route and make an Iron Golem out of an Insight. But I haven't tried it yet because I'm, yeah, as I said, a bit inexperienced with it. And I'm not sure if it's a good enough choice on a budget. If you're not killing fast enough, then your Iron Golem might die and you lose the Insight. So, but let me know in the comments if you have more experience with Insight Iron Golem and think that it's yeah, viable with a budget build as well. Need to try that myself then. But I really enjoy this playstyle quite a bit. It's super smooth. It's not hectic at all. It's just walking around, getting your poison, your low resist on the cows, and then you can just walk further. And as soon as 1 or 2 cows die, then you can use your Corpse Explosion. So even smaller groups are no issue, or large groups. But with large groups, of course, it's a lot more fun. As you can see, This is a viable budget setup. I mean, I've seen worse. Like, maybe the Wind Druid was not as fast, I'd imagine. And you can also go Travincal with this character, which means you can farm your Enigma, which makes this a lot more enjoyable if you can just teleport around. So this was Travincal and Chaos, and again, I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. As mentioned earlier, there are other gear options like a Spirit, but I think if you get White in a Bonement, it's always superior, unless you really need the faster cast rate and the other stats here. You can also go for Rhyme Shield, which does not boost your damage, unfortunately. Enigma, of course, as endgame option. Smoke, if you really need the resistances. Some rare Sash. And of course, Death's Web would be the best option for endgame. But there's also White Wands, or yeah, this is the base I was using, or I am using. There's also Tranquils, which you can also go with the helmet or the body armor. But you only need 3 parts of it because of the minus 25% to enemy poison resistance. You can also go Homunculus, of course, but then you lose the minus 25 to poison resistance. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope I could show you, or I have shown you, that this build can also perform on a budget and you can enjoy it in Hell Chaos and Travincal and other areas that we still might explore in an upcoming video, because I want to experiment more with this Necromancer and also try out a Bone Spear Necromancer on a budget. So if you liked it, if you got any value from it, please like and consider subscribing, because there will be more budget builds to come. And until then, I see you. Good luck, have fun, and goodbye.